Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Will Cinematics video. Today I'll be reviewing the first movie of the Renaissance era, The Little Mermaid. This is a timeless movie starring the incredible Jodie Benson. So, the movie starts off with a song titled Fathoms Below. This song transitions into the city of Atlantica. Here we see Sebastian the Crab and King Triton. Sebastian is having the many daughters of King Triton perform together to introduce their younger sister to the kingdom. In this song, we learn Ariel's 6 sisters' names as they introduce Ariel. In a funny scene, we see that Ariel is a no-show to her own performance. We see Ariel exploring an abandoned ship with her companion Flounder. They get chased by a shark and escape to their seagull friend Scuttle. He tells them about some human contraptions he's found on land and their purposes. This is a really funny scene because we see how wrong Scuttle is about everything. Like, he says that a fork is called a dingle hopper and is meant for combing hair, which is just incorrect. And then we cut to Ursula, the sea witch and the villain of this movie, watching Ariel and plotting to trick her. Then we cut again to an angry Triton reprimanding Ariel for missing her performance, which leads to Ariel singing a song titled Part of Your World. A beautiful song that shows Ariel's want to be on the surface. And Ariel sees a ship and checks it out. Aboard the ship is her love interest, Prince Eric. She immediately falls in love with him after seeing him, and then Prince Eric's ship gets caught in the waves and she saves him from drowning. She sings Part of Your World's reprise to him and swims off. Ursula sees that Ariel is in love with a prince, so she tries to use this to her advantage. We see how lovesick Ariel is and how much she yearns to go to land. Sebastian interrupts her and tells her that it's better down where it's wetter and sings a song titled Under the Sea. She swims off during the song and goes to her grotto. Overprotective Triton hears that she is in love with a human and storms off to find her. At the grotto, Flounder brought her a statue of Eric and she gets overjoyed. Triton, being the angry father that he is, destroys everything in the grotto, including the statue. So then Ariel has no choice but to turn to Ursula, the sea witch. Ursula sings a song called Poor Unfortunate Souls and tricks her into signing over her voice for legs, and that she must kiss him before time runs out. Being naive, she agrees. She makes it on land and finds Eric. There's a really funny scene where she uses a fork as a comb at dinner time. Then there's a comical song called Les Poissons that leads to Sebastian almost getting eaten. Then the next day, they go on a carriage ride together and ride in a boat, very romantic trip. And on this boat ride, Sebastian sings a song called Kiss the Girl to get them to kiss. Right before they're about to kiss, they get interrupted by Flotsam and Jetsam. These are like Ursula's little like henchmen eels. They come in and just disrupt everything. Then Ursula, seeing that they're in love, uses Ariel's voice to pretend to be the woman from the beach. So Eric, when he was washed up on shore after being saved by Ariel sang to him, and that's all he remembers. Ursula uses Ariel's voice to pretend to be the woman that saved him, and she calls herself Vanessa. Hearing her voice, Eric decides to marry her right away. Ariel gets sad hearing that Eric is getting married. Scuttle notices that Vanessa is Ursula and warns Ariel. Ariel and Flounder head off to save him. Scuttle then calls on all the animals to help Ariel in her quest to save Eric. They follow the wedding, but Ursula takes Ariel's soul because the sun has set and she hasn't kissed Eric. Then Triton finds this out and trades his crown and trident for his daughter. So basically, he just made Ursula ruler of the seas, which was a pretty dumb decision. He really cares about his daughter. And we also see that in the scene after he destroys everything. He's very angry and he turns around to leave. And he turns back a little bit and looks sad as she cries there because all her stuff was just destroyed. And he feels bad because he just did something bad to her, destroyed this stuff she just has a passion for. He thinks that humans are horrible people and can't be trusted. Flotsam and Jetsam die, then Ursula zaps them by accident. And she gets super angry and she grows gigantic. Ursula makes a whirlpool and all these ships come up out of the water, and Eric grabs onto an abandoned ship and drives it straight through her. And this really makes her death a dark one. This is one of the infamous ones because it's just such a dark Disney villain death. Yes, the evil queen fell and Lady Tremaine didn't die and Maleficent gets stabbed, but this one was really dark. She got a whole ship stabbed right through her, and you get to see everything. After seeing how in love she is with Eric, he makes her human, and she's very happy about that. Also, I say human weird. Apparently I don't pronounce the H. Not gonna get into that. Then Ariel and Eric get married and all the merfolk sing Part of Your World. And that's the end of the movie. One point I'd like to make is that a lot of people hate this movie, or not hate, but dislike parts of this movie because Ariel's so dumb. She trades her voice for a guy she just met. It's a very naive decision, but I think the root of all the naivete is Triton really shelters Ariel from the human world and from just outside of Atlantica. His refusal to let Ariel be herself stops her from making smart decisions, and that's why she's considered so dumb. Also, fun fact, and this is why I had to as a thumbnail, this movie saved Disney. So at the time, Disney had a lot of debt, and this is the first Disney princess movie to come out since Sleeping Beauty in 1959. So it'd been a good amount of time. What makes it so special is the fact that it really saved Disney. Without the profits from this movie, Disney might not be here today, so that's why I really love this movie. Anyways, it's a great movie, and as I was saying, go check it out. It's definitely worth the time, and here's my rating. So main character, I said 7 out of 10, just because like Ariel is very interesting character, very bubbly, very creative, but she also has her flaws. She's definitely very dumb and naive, as I was saying. And supporting characters, I gave 7 out of 10 because I really love like Scuttle and the other like fish characters, but the supporting characters on land, they don't really have that big of a role, but like I personally don't find them that interesting. They're a little boring to watch. And for love interest, which is Eric, I said 7 out of 10 because I really like Eric. There are times where I don't, but for the most part, he seems like a pretty nice guy. I don't know why he's marrying someone he just met, but he seems pretty nice and has a good amount of character. He's like a very expressive person. And for songs, I gave 9 out of 10 because I really love the songs. Like the songs, I hear the title, I start singing it in my head. Like, they live rent-free up here. And then for ending, I said 8 out of 10 because I love the ending. I mean, I don't like the whole wedding thing, but I just love the ending where they fight Ursula. And for villains, I said 10 out of 10 because Ursula is really just a perfect villain all around. Like, she's definitely up there with like Maleficent and with the Evil Queen because she just like has no flaws villain-wise, and she's very fun villain. You can see her like toying with Ariel and she's like enjoying it, which you don't see that often. I felt like in the classics, you see a lot of the villains are kind of just there to do their role. But Ursula is not only like there to be like the villain, but she's also a fun personality and she's really enjoying herself being evil, which I don't really see with Maleficent or with the Evil Queen. They're just more like evil entities. For animation, I said 8 out of 10 because I love the animation in this, and especially how hard it must have been to animate a swimming person, especially a swimming person without legs, like a swimming person with a tail. It must have been really hard. There's a lot of like weird hair stuff that happens, especially in Part of Your World. There's this really funny scene that makes her forehead look really big because her bangs like move in the water. But yeah, like animating in water seems really hard, and I have to give them credit for that. And for score, I gave 9 out of 10 because recently I hadn't really listened to the score before, and recently I did, and I realized it's like really captivating. Like the themes in it, and also like how they change, how the themes change and transition. When I heard that for the first time recently, when I heard these for the first time, it made me imagine the movie, like the scenes in my head, which is what a score is supposed to do. So I was really happy about that. So 9 out of 10. Overall score 9 out of 10 because it's a very good movie. I really enjoy it, and no matter what age you are, I feel like you can get enjoyment out of this movie. And as I say every time, I want to thank you guys for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe.